Graphic design, social media, marketing, branding? Check out our sponsors Vision Byte Creative Design Studio on visionbyte.co.uk to find out more and use code APE20 for 20% off your first order.
The family of a 16-year-old whose body was found near a DLR station in East London hours after they reported him missing say they just want answers. Police are now investigating whether a group of around 30 youths carrying baseball bats seen in the same area is linked to the attack.
Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Huncho, back at you again with another video. Now, this next story we're about to get into takes place in Beckton in Newham. Now, as some of you guys will know, the area is connected to UK drill rapper Young Diz and the Six Gang. But in this story, we cover a college student who seems like he got caught up in a situation that didn't necessarily involve him, and because of his association, even though not a part of a gang, it seems like this is the reason why he sadly passed away. Known to friends to be an earnest, happy boy, Shanur Ahmed was an A-level student studying business at Newham Sixth Form College. It's also being reported that at college he would stay to play football with friends and would just chill at the college. A friend would go on to say he was a great person who you could always have a laugh with. He always made sure everyone around him was smiling. On the 3rd of March 2020, a 16-year-old boy who we now know as Shanur Ahmed from Manor Park was found by a DLR worker unresponsive with suspicious head injuries after being found at near grassland area behind the station at Gallions Reach in Beckton at 8:37 AM. Lucy Farrell, who lives in Docksland, East London, who had actually witnessed the DLR worker find Shanur, said, "I was waiting for the train on my way to the doctors when I noticed a DLR cleaner standing in the field with a long item. At first I thought it might have been dumped rubbish, but when I looked closer, I realised it was a body. I thought he was in a body bag, but then I saw his hand. It was a young man and he was lying flat, face down in the grass with his hands by his sides. There was a muddy trail as if he'd been dragged there. The cleaner was on the phone for a while and she was shaking him, but nothing was happening. I think she must have called 999. She was trying to speak to him, but he wasn't responding." She added, "Where he was, you can't walk through. What was he doing there? I only saw him as I was on the platform above, overlooking the area." Paramedics from London's ambulance service found him with head injuries alongside the Metropolitan Police Service, and he was unfortunately pronounced dead at the scene. It was said that on the day before his body was discovered, on the 2nd of March 2020, his family had contacted police to report him missing. His family have also come out to say he was beaten to death after visiting a friend in hospital who had been attacked in school a day earlier, and they believe he was caught up in a dispute between two gangs. On the day his body was found, his uncle Asad Ahmed would go on to tell reporters that they had found him with his glasses and tissues which his family recognised that was his. He would go on to say, "We knew they were his glasses because his dad buys everything for him, and as soon as we got there, we saw them. Having to come here and see what we're seeing is disgraceful. To actually come here and find Shanur's glasses that he was wearing with blood spatters on the ground is very distressful and disturbing for us as a family. There is also a tissue he used at home, which must have been in his pocket. It's the tissue all the family use and that we are using here today. I spoke with the police officer and he said they had not finished the search, and I said the area should be cordoned off." From what we understand at the moment, there's been a lack of experience within the police and the protocols may have not been followed. It was heard on Snapchat on the day of his murder that a message had been circulating suggesting something had happened to him near the train station, and so his parents got in contact with his friends. With this information, they reported him missing and passed the information on to police. His uncle would go on to say, "Police should have deployed a search party and perhaps a helicopter on Monday night, and perhaps at that point he may still have been alive." At around 6 PM or 7 PM, we understand that Shanur had gone missing, but it was only at 10 PM that we actually set out to search for him, as it was out of character. We told police we believed he was in this area after friends had put that appeal out on Snapchat. His other uncle, my brother, even passed by this train station 3 times, not knowing Shanur was there. We were passing the information on to police, who said, "We've got enough information, we do not need any more." The superintendent in the case, the police liaison, and the murder team said they were doing everything for us. The superintendent in the case, the police liaison, and the murder team said they were doing everything that they could for us, but they weren't doing everything that they could. Evidence had been left at the scene. It'd just been treated like another knife crime, another young life that could have possibly been saved. His uncle would then go on to say, "We're aware there was an altercation at his college, but not with him. There was another child who was in hospital. Shanur had visited his friend at the hospital. Thereafter, we'd not had any contact with him," adding it was totally out of character for him to be out. Syed Ahmed, 44, another uncle, said, "The forensic tent was right here. They've taken it away. Why? Here there is fresh blood, a spanner which could have been a murder weapon, and my nephew's glasses. Detectives had gone back to the murder scene by Shanur's relatives, and they had told the family that the spanner was examined and deemed to be unconnected. Referring to the other items found, a member of the investigation team said, "We cannot say they were not taken." The teen's glasses were placed into an evidence bag as Shanur's relatives watched on in the rain. Scotland Yard officers said they were looking at a possible link to a previous attack at school. It's believed that the murder may have been a revenge attack for the school incident, and it was said that two rival gangs armed with baseball bats are thought to have met near the train station on Monday evening to settle the dispute. And there was also a witness account where they had rang police to say that around 7:50 p.m. a person had saw a large group of people, approximately 30 males, carrying baseball bats. So today, on the 6th of March 2020, 5 teenage boys and 1 man were arrested on suspicion of murder. 3 17-year-olds and a boy aged 16 were also arrested on suspicion of robbery in relation to an incident in Prince Regent Lane on the afternoon of Monday the 2nd of March. Officers have said this incident, which saw a boy in his late teens stabbed, is currently being linked to the murder investigation. And due to Shanur being reported as a missing person in the early hours of Tuesday after he did not return home, the Met's Decorative of Professional Standards and the Independent Office of Police Conduct have been informed. And if there is any updates surrounding this situation, as always, I'll let you guys know. So as it stands right now, it seems like Shanur had been attacked in something that he wasn't necessarily involved in. Maybe the people have seen him before and associated him to be a part of another gang, but it just seems like just because he has friends that might be in a gang, it didn't necessarily mean that he was in a gang himself. As it's been told, he was an A-level student at college. I can't really see him being in a gang. Also, if he was in a gang, why was it out of character of him to be out at 10 p.m? It doesn't really make sense. And it's really sad that his family had turned up there and they found evidence scattered all over the floor. Now, granted, the police have come out to say the spanner wasn't part of the investigation, but what about the glasses? What about the tissue? There's blood splatter, and it's just not fair on the family. They want to go there and mourn, and there's evidence all over the place, and the crime scene should have been cleaned up. Whether the spanner had anything to do with it or not, it should have been cleaned up because family were going to go there. And this reminds me of the cases video that I did on GB, or Raheem Barton, where his mum actually had to go to the crime scene and clean up the blood because the police didn't actually clean the crime scene up. It's exactly the same in this case. And how come they alerted the police to say that he was in danger and it was out of character for him to be missing, and the police didn't really do nothing about it and they just brushed it off like it was a missing person? To me, it seems like the police haven't done a great job with dealing with the situation, and they could have potentially found him alive if they had put a search party out. And I just want to take this time out just to pay my respects and say rest in peace to Shanur, and my condolences are with his family at this current time. But let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Give the video a little like, and if you want the latest drill, street and music news out of the UK, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your boy Huncho, and I'm out.